Hello, another episode of Other Duties as Assigned. Thanks for joining me again. Today is a different kind of episode. It's kind of one of those episodes that just came out of being where we were and what needed to be talked about. And today we're talking about another duty that's a little bit more unique. Got a phone call the other night, last night, that we were having issues with the fire alarm panel. And so as a result, I had to come up here and work with our facilities manager. And through that process, we determined, with the help of the fire department, that we needed to have a fire watch. Well, if you're like me, you have no idea what a fire watch is. And I now know what a fire watch is. And basically, a fire watch is when you have a certified person who's walking the building, keeping things safe. And so that's kind of the lead into today's episode, is that we're looking at what a fire watch means, and then just in general, what does the other duty of safety look like within a building? And so as I am on my fire watch duties today, this evening, it's a Sunday night, about 8 o'clock, I'm walking the building, making sure that we're safe and keeping track of things. Well, as I'm doing that, I figured I'd have a chance to talk to you and kind of share with you what's going on with this other duty, that is the fire watch. So we're going to have some more conversations, but I thought I'd get you started there. Well, welcome. As I said, we are out and about doing a fire walk as part of this other duty, and we're here at Plainfield. It's a Sunday night. Like I said, it's 8 o'clock, and we're just cruising around, making sure that everybody's safe. And it got me thinking, what a better episode to do than an episode about safety and what that looks like. You know, obviously, you get a lot of phone calls and a lot of things that you deal with as a building administrator that you have to be thinking about, and safety is a big part of that. You know, whether it's conversations with your local police and fire, not only about keeping your building safe and secure, but also the safety and security of your students, some of the things that happen outside of the building that then impacts you inside of the building. And I think as you think about that, as you look at other duties, that's a really important one. So in the context of a school, and you'll notice it's summertime, we're doing lots of cleaning, some construction, so that's what happens at a school, as you get moving and doing those things. But I wanted to take you along for my walk and figured I'd give you an opportunity to kind of see what that's like. So as I was talking about is, as you look at, that relationship between your individual school safety, you got to have drills, right? You're going to have fire drills, you're going to have severe weather drills, you're going to look at all of those things, all the kind of safety, security, all of those protocols that you put in place and you practice and you make sure your students and staff know. I think one of the lessons that I've learned and we've learned as a district is consistency, using the same language and terminology when it comes to safety, whether you're a kindergartner or a senior. Obviously, you talk to kids about safety and security in different ways, depending on their age and what's appropriate for them. But I think you also realize that as you're having those conversations, you can, if you come from a common language that everybody's using, when we talk about a secure or a hold or an evacuate, everybody knows what that means in our district because it's the same terminology we use regardless of the grade level. And I think that's been really good. That's a change during the last 10 years that we've implemented, and that's been really good. I think the idea of practicing and thinking about how do you best make sure that everybody knows your plan, I think that's like anything. I think the more you practice any skill, you get better at it. It becomes more second nature because, in the terms of safety and security, a lot of the issues that you're going to be dealing with are going to be when there's a lot of stress, a lot of pressure, and you want to eliminate as much guesswork, and you want to make things as much reactionary to what they've already practiced, so they know what to do in those situations. And so that's why you practice, and I think that's really important. Every school, has that school safety specialist, as we do too. We actually currently on staff and our administrative team have 3 school safety specialists, so I'm pretty lucky. I get to lean on 3 folks that really put a lot of emphasis and thought into our safety. But I think a step farther than that is, those guys are continuing to ask questions. They work as a team across the district and collaborate on ways to get better. And I think those are really meaningful conversations. And that's another way that you get better, is by having conversations and talking things through as a group, so that you make sure that everybody is thinking about safety all the time. Today's Fire Watch brings up kind of the thing that's a little bit more unique, and until you're in an administrative spot, you're really not thinking about it, and that is that a lot of safety and a lot of security and a lot of just being an administrator happens outside the 8 to 3, 7 to 3 contract school day, and you got to be prepared for that. You're going to get phone calls. I've had a Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, 10 o'clock at night, concern about a student. How do we help them? And I think, that's the job. And I think it's easy to do. Obviously, love kids and want them to be safe and happy and healthy and all those things. And I think that's an important part of that. But it is a lot, and it's a big ask for your family, and so you do have to have some balance there. You got to have a team. Today, unfortunately, I spent the night at Plainfield High School last night as part of this, dealing with this fire situation with the fire extinguisher and such. But then parts of our team kind of came together, and they decided who was able to come in and when and get some coverage, so I could go home and get a couple hours of sleep and spend some time with my family. And I think that's an important balance too. And so that's a part of doing safety, is that understanding and that it's going to happen at all hours of the night. And you're not going to know. Last night, when they said Fire Watch, to be totally honest, I didn't know what that meant. So it took some Googling. I reached out to a couple, I reached out to my bosses. Unfortunately, it was late at night, and I didn't get a call right away, so I had to kind of figure it out, which was okay. That's part of being an administrator, is being able to come up with solutions. Know that they're not going to be perfect, but they need to be well informed and thoughtful as you make those decisions. And I think I was able to do that. But I also reached out to a couple peers, mentors, say, hey, have you dealt with this before? No, not really. Hey, try calling the fire. So I called the fire department, got them on the phone, started talking to them about, kind of next steps. Had a good conversation with the fire department, and through that conversation, our local gentleman in charge of fire prevention came to the high school. We talked through what the process was going to be, and he stayed here right alongside me last night. But that's part of the job, is having to be prepared to kind of deal with stuff you weren't even sure you knew how to deal with. And last night I didn't know what I was doing. I don't know a whole lot more, other than I'm Fire Watch certified now after taking some an OSHA course and some testing this morning. I was able to take that over, and then realize that I could save our district some money by getting some of our staff certified during the course of the day today, so that they could help us kind of moving forward. So, I think the biggest takeaway as you look at safety and security and just, kind of the, things you've never thought of, whether it's your pool flooding your basketball gym, been there, done that, whether it's, police officers coming to your house to get your help on a situation, sending you pictures of things going on in the community to try to get you to help identify a victim or a perpetrator or whatever. And, we got to do that. That's part of the job, but it's been a really good part to have those good relationships. So we're lucky to have great law enforcement and safety folks in our community, and they've been really helpful through the years. So, just encourage you to work on growing your net, your group of people that can help you make decisions. Because I think that's a big thing is, when last night I had a group of folks to reach out to. I had people to help and support me, and I think that made all the difference. I'm a little out of breath. I must be getting older, all this walking today. I apologize for that. Thanks for sticking with me today. We're going to try some of these walking ones here a little bit more frequently. Got a new mic so you can hear me a little bit better. We're trying to add some tech into the podcast. So thank you for joining us. And like always, that's another duty as assigned, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.